Hello and welcome to your Recipe for Financial Success with me, Emma, and my colleagues Becky and Julie.
In each episode, we'll be bringing you a list of ingredients to help you cook up a storm and master methods to finesse your finances. We'll be helping you expand your repertoire and hopefully teach you a few new skills along the way.
So, clear the counters and get your mixing bowls ready for today's recipe. Let's get started. In this week's episode, we're going to be straining through our holiday on a strawberry shoelace.
As you're chuckling away to yourself there, Becky, why don't you start off by telling everybody about when we first arrived on our holiday?
Well, it's a bit of an interesting story. So we arrived on Friday evening and the park that we were staying at were doing contactless check-in because of the coronavirus. So we went and checked in, all happy days. The lady on reception said to me, your keys and your welcome pack will be in your caravan waiting for you. So we merrily drive round to the caravan where we thought we were going to be staying, get out of the car, carefully check the map to check that we're walking to the right caravan, check the number on the front of the caravan. Yep, we're definitely at the right caravan. But the lights are on in the caravan and there's people already in the caravan that we're supposed to be in. So not quite what we were expecting.
A double check of the map to make sure we were definitely in the right place.
We double checked the map and yes, we definitely were at the right caravan. So we made our way back to reception where we explained to the lovely lady on reception what had happened. And they managed to find us another caravan for us to stay in for the weekend, which was very nice of them.
Indeed it was. So, Julie, do you want to tell us a little bit about what our holiday was and what we were actually doing?
Okay, well, I guess a bit of background, really. I've been going on sun holidays for years and years, really. When I first bought my house back when I was 18 years old, which was a long time ago, I didn't have any money at all and wanted to go on holiday. And my mum was like, well, why don't you go on a sun holiday? And I'm like, well, what's a sun holiday? And back then it was you collected 10 tokens in January by buying 10 of the Sun newspapers and cutting out the tokens. And then you would then basically attach them to a little slip and you'd send it off in the post with all your tokens and your choices, or your top 4 choices of resorts and top 4 choices of dates. And then you'd wait patiently for your letter to come back in the post to tell you whether or not you've been successful and whether you'd got a holiday or not. So all very exciting. Obviously, things have changed slightly, and now you can do it all online, and you can find out immediately whether you've got a resort or not. But the idea was really that for £9.50 per person for 4 people, so essentially just under 50 quid, you could go away for either a Monday to Friday, so a 4-night break, or a Friday to Monday, so a 3-night break. And that's what I dragged the girls on. Now, obviously, when we booked this, we hadn't planned on this being the highlight of our summer, but I believe it could have been the highlight holiday of the year.
I think it was the only holiday of the year.
Well, there is that as well.
But it was really good. So where we actually went was Caton Bay. And Becky, do you want to tell us a little bit about what we did there?
I can indeed. So we arrived quite late on the Friday night. So by the time we'd sort of got unpacked and got ourselves settled in and we'd had a cup of tea, we ordered a pizza takeaway. So that was very delicious. I'm sure my fellow co-hosts aren't going to disagree with that.
Absolutely not. It was very nice pizza. In fact, didn't we eat it again at lunch from the Saturday?
Yes, we did. We managed to last it out for 2 meals, so that was really good. So after we'd filled our faces with pizza on the Friday night, I think we pretty much went straight to bed.
I think we did. We weren't the party people that night.
No, definitely not. So we had a nice early night on the Friday. On the Saturday, we woke up to heaving rain, which was quite unfortunate. So we had a bit of a lazy morning on the Saturday, and then we ventured out to Tesco's, believe it or not, of all places we could have gone to on our holiday. And we brought a few bits and pieces, a few little bits of shopping, sort of like essentials really, to get us through the weekend. When we'd finished doing our shopping, believe it or not, it was still raining. So we headed back to our humble abode for the weekend.
I just want to say, when you say humble abode, we did get an upgrade when we had to have a new caravan.
I wasn't going to mention that bit.
Shh, that was top secret.
And we actually had an afternoon playing board games. So I taught Emma, first of all, how to play Chinese checkers.
And I think I now have a little bit of an obsession with the game. As soon as I got back, I was online looking where I could buy a board so I can get practicing, ready to beat Becky next time.
You know I won't allow that.
And apparently I'm never allowed to play Happy Families ever again.
Definitely not. She was far too good at that, Becky, wasn't she?
Definitely. I think when I had 2 families and Julie had won the game with 8 families, that was time to call it quits.
Yeah, it's funny how we only actually ever played one round of that game, didn't we?
Yeah, I wonder why.
No one will play with me anymore.
Maybe we're just bad losers, Becky.
Shh. So we had a bit of a games afternoon on the Saturday, and then we got some tea from the restaurant on site, but they were very kindly did it as a takeaway for us. So we didn't even really have to leave the caravan, which was perfect for me, so because I didn't have to get dressed up. So no complaints there at all.
An evening in our pyjamas.
Indeed, a pyjama party. And I think on the Saturday afternoon we watched some very educational programmes, didn't we?
We did actually, didn't we?
There was one on Kaiser Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Excuse my bad German. And the other one was on Prince Philip. So,
Indeed it was.
We were very educational on our crazy Saturday night. On the Sunday morning, thankfully it had stopped raining. Hurrah! So we went for a walk on the beach to blow the cobwebs away. The beach was only about a 5-minute walk from our caravan, so that was perfect. So we went for a walk on the beach and blew the cobwebs away, which was very nice.
And we even saw the helicopter come in, didn't we? I'm not quite sure what it was doing.
We still haven't figured that bit out, have we?
No.
Fortunately, it didn't have to land on the beach, so hopefully whatever they were doing, it wasn't for any rescue mission or...
It didn't have to help get you back up the hill, Becky, did it?
No, I managed to drag myself up the hill. But I was puffing and panting when I got to the top. So let's move swiftly on.
Sounds like a plan.
So we stopped off for a coffee on our way back to our caravan because I felt that I'd earned it from my walk on the beach and back up the hill. And then we made our way into Whitby for the afternoon, which was very pleasant indeed. So we had a little potter around Whitby. We stopped off for some lovely fish and chips. We walked up the 200 odd steps to the Abbey. Then we sort of headed back to the caravan.
Oh, Becky, don't forget the glass of Prosecco we had.
I had forgotten. How bad of me.
And a bit of people watching sat outside, of course.
Of course, you know me. Then on the Sunday night, when we got back to the caravan, I think we had another game of Chinese checkers.
We did, but it was all 3 of us this time, wasn't it?
All 3 of us played. So we had a quick game of Chinese checkers, and then we went for tea again at the restaurant on the site where we were staying, which was very nice. So we did that, and then I think we pretty much had an early night when we got back again. So
I think you've missed out a few things that we did in the evening, Becky. We, of course, had a few glasses of gin, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Well, after the Prosecco, I wasn't going to mention the gin either.
I suppose it puts us in a bit of a bad light, doesn't it? But
yeah, not the best.
We had a few drinks, didn't we? Not too many, but a little tipple.
Just a taste. So then on the Monday morning, we were up bright and early, and we actually sadly had to pack up and come home. So we came home via Flamborough Head, and then we made our way back to sunny Norfolk. Or not, as the case would be when we got home.
We did well for most of the journey, though. It was only when we just got back, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Unfortunately, we arrived home to rain, but never mind.
Never mind indeed.
So you might be wondering what our lovely weekend away has got to do with money. I'm sure you're all thinking, well, that sounds great. But what does it have to do with money?
I mean, have we changed from a financial services or finance podcast to a Becky, Julie and Emma's Holiday Weekends Away podcast.
Well, that might be what you're thinking at the moment, but that's definitely not the change we've made. We're talking about holidays on a budget and how much this cost us. So you're going to have to keep waiting a little bit longer to find out how much these 4 days and 3 nights away cost us. We're going to tell you a little bit more about our holiday first. So Julie, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what we took away with us to obviously try and make this holiday a little bit cheaper for us rather than spending money on things that we didn't really need to buy?
Yeah, of course I can, Emma. So we took a few of the kitchen essentials, so tea bags, coffee, washing up liquid, hand soap, toilet rolls, because they don't get provided in caravans at the moment. Gin and tonic, obviously highly important items. Towels, tea towels. I'm trying to think what else we took away with us. Oh, sweets and biscuits and other...
All the essentials.
Yeah, all the essentials as well. So,
but things that we had at home, we didn't have to go out and buy them specially. We just took the things we had with us, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. So it was all things that we already had that we took with us. So, and obviously the tea towels came home again and went in the washing machine and have been reused.
Very efficient washing service there, Julie.
Not going to lie, my things have only just come out of my suitcase.
Oh, mine are washed and dried. In fact, I'm wearing my jeans today.
I'm very impressed.
So over to you, Emma. Do you want to tell us how much our weekend breakaway cost?
So are we going to get a little drum roll here? So the grand total for our weekend away was £372.02, which worked out as £124 and a penny each. Don't worry, I'll take the penny.
That's very kind of you, Emma. Thank you.
So
does that mean one of you owes me money?
Probably. We'll sort it out, don't worry. So just to give you a bit of a breakdown of what these different things cost us. So the actual accommodation at Caton Bay cost £124.45. But that did include all of our linen and entertainment passes so we could go into their entertainment centre. So we could have made it cheaper if we wanted to by taking our own linen. But obviously we thought weekend away, special treat, we'd let someone else do that part for us. But that would have reduced it to £84.50 if we chose to do that. Julie very kindly drove us there in her little Ruby, and the fuel for the weekend cost us around about £50. That's about how much it cost to fill up your car, isn't it?
It was about 1 tank of petrol, and much to my husband's horror, my car was actually a lot more efficient than what he thought it was going to be.
Bonus. So we spent just over £10 when we went for our little shopping trip in Tesco's. Obviously, we could have made our weekend much cheaper if we'd have bought things and cooked meals ourselves. But again, a special treat. We still ate out and did things as well. So I'm going to kind of collectively tell you the rest. I don't think you need a breakdown of how much each meal cost. But in total, we spent £197.57 on food and drink. So over 50% of what we actually spent was on food and drink. So obviously it could have probably been made a lot cheaper, but we still enjoyed ourselves, had drinks out, we ate out every meal, we didn't do any cooking ourselves. So it was a nice treat for us, really.
It was very nice indeed.
That bottle of Prosecco's got to have eaten into that £372 as well.
Yeah, the bottle of Prosecco alone was £28. So if you imagine if we'd have all had a soft drink or something else, we could have cut that down a lot. And obviously we stopped at Costa and had hot chocolates and coffees and a couple of times. So all of those things, if we'd have wanted to, we could have made them ourselves and taken our takeaway cups with us and took a drink out with us when we went out and about. So there's lots of things we could have done to make it cheaper. But from our point of view, we thought £125 each was a really reasonable amount.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, definitely.
So do we have plans to go again, girls?
I think we should go again next year, and I think we should go to Kent next year.
What's in Kent?
Some sand dunes.
That sounds like a plan. If we can get Becky up the sand dunes, it'll be a good start.
It's quite flat in Kent compared to Yorkshire, so we should be okay.
That's okay then.
So the Sun Holiday it normally comes out every January time, so it's a good time. So this isn't a plug for the Sun Holiday, and I do believe other newspapers have done them in the past, but I do believe that the Sun has been consistently the one who's done them over the years the most. But normally they come into the newspaper about January time. And once you've actually done one with them, you then get an email and a letter in the post, normally with a couple of tokens free. So it means you can actually get your holiday booked quicker than people who haven't ever done it before. So I know that I'll be booking again this January, and I think it's definitely worthwhile. In fact, I've got another one lined up in a couple of months' time.
Oh, where's that one to?
Cornwall.
Cornwall. Very good.
I included the heating in this one.
Oh, bonus. We were plenty warm enough though, everybody. Don't worry. So it just goes to show that even if you're living on a budget and you don't necessarily have a huge amount of cash spare, that you can still go away, you can still enjoy yourself. Just because you are living on a shoestring, it doesn't mean that you can't make those nice trips away.
I thought we were living on a strawberry shoelace, Emma.
Well, same difference.
And I think the other way you could also cut down is we've spent £50 on fuel. You could go nearer home. I know when I did my first Sun holiday, my first car was never going to make it out of the county, so I went to North Deans in Great Yarmouth. So those of you from Norfolk will know where that is, but it was just up the road. And the car made it, and obviously my fuel consumption was a lot less.
That's a very good point there.
And also, which we didn't use, which another thing we could have used at Caton Bay, is there was a public bus service just outside the resort, which would have took you into Scarborough or Bridlington, which are the nearest two towns. So again, we could have done trips out which didn't involve the car as well.
Anything else you'd like to add today, Becky?
When's our next game of Chinese checkers booked in?
Well, if you're going to provide the board, as I haven't got mine yet, I'll play you tomorrow.
Okay, then.
I think I'll leave you to it, unless anyone wants to play Happy Families.
Definitely not.
No! And with that, we've completed today's recipe. We hope you have enjoyed following along with us today and cooking yourself one recipe closer to a financially secure future.
If you'd enjoyed today's podcast, you can head over to www.recipeforfinancialsuccess.co.uk, where you can find out more information and a full list of ingredients on today's recipe.
For more hints, tips and tasters, find us on Facebook at Your Recipe for Financial Success. Thank you for listening and see you next time.